What's up, my precious little pack, and welcome back to Vega Conflict. We're going to go ahead and go over the Pestilence events, primary setup, the overview, and I'll give my thoughts about it like I usually do. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and say something else. I was thinking of making a video about summing up the reasons why I can't recommend the game and actually advise people not to spend money in it. However, I'm just going to do this instead. A game should be enjoyable to the player base to a degree that no matter what they're doing in the game, they should be able to find some joy from it. When a game is incapable of giving any joy whatsoever to any of the player base that is currently active in any game, they shouldn't be playing that game. No one should if they're not able to find enjoyment out of it, and if it's so bad that it doesn't even feel like a game and it doesn't feel like you're enjoying it and it feels more like a task, you shouldn't be playing it, because you shouldn't be adding something to your day that is so tedious under the guise of a video game that it is actually a secondary job or another life in its entirety. Vega Conflict is just that. If you do not have a long amount of time to put into the game to get where you want, you can expect to spend money, which again I would say is ill-advised, because there is absolutely no reason to spend money in the game. It's improperly balanced, and if you waste several $100s on low-tier fleets expecting them to be useful in defending yourself from bullies or anything like that still remain in the game, you're going to be sorely disappointed when you lose to a Tyrant, one or two high-tier Mark 6, whatever ships they may be, Bastions, the Guardians, Punishers, Wraiths, Ogres, Paragons, whatever they may be. And it'll just destroy you because it's fairly balanced, which is a complete and total lie. The main reason I can't recommend the game is, again, because it's not fun. When you have to play a game and it doesn't feel like a game and it feels more like a job or a secondary life that you have to partake in, and it takes more hours in the course of the day to advance than what you actually have in a day, it's not a video game, it's a job, and no one should have to deal with that. Ever. And again, I can recommend other games if people want to get out of Vega and play other free-to-play games. I have been around the block quite a long time, and I know my way around games. Granted, I try to typically avoid free-to-play games, but there are some that are bearable to a degree. Or there are some that came from AAA title producers. There are some that stood tall as standard games to begin with and went free-to-play, and they're good free-to-play games. Vega isn't one of them. And if you're looking for a fun free-to-play game, I can give you a few recommendations, but Vega isn't on that list. The early portion of the game, I have to admit, is good. However, improper balancing, build times, and lack of entertainment in-game quickly takes away from that. But that aside, let's get back to the Pestilence. Okay, so the new event comes up tomorrow. It will begin in the evening, as they typically do. And the primary prize will be the Ogre battleship. And now we can see the fitting for it. It will have 2 ablative slots, which will make it extremely good for tanking damage, because we've all seen what the ablative slots can do. 2 armor slots, 2 special slots, 8 weapon slots, all by default. So at max it'll have 9 weapon slots. That's no surprise, that's the exact same as Paragon. The Nova missiles, which begin at 150, 400,000, well, 150,000, 400,000, 800,000 each respectively, in lowest to highest order. That's about it. They literally, this shop is even worse in my eyes. than the Wraith shop when it was first introduced. First, there's only one new component that was added. The Thunder Thruster is in the game. We can see it. They should have added it here because it is necessary for battleships and to playtest with. However, I already think I know how the ship's going to play. It's going to be the next ship over the Paragon because that's just how they are. As mistaken as it may be, that's just how it's going to be. Let's talk about targets for a minute. Exactly what can we expect to see? Well, if the Rebel channel would ever load, we can show you. Alright. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the targets. They begin with the Pandemic, 40s, dropping suppressor boxes. Okay, why are they still dropping low-level garbage? And before anybody says, again, these events that Kix has been doing lately, they try to make sure that they're for high-level players, and yet that is second-hand ship right there that is in a high-tier event. The Mark II Cavalier. Mark III. Okay, remove the Cavalier because even I don't use that. That is one of the biggest joke ships I've ever seen. I would rather use my Vindicators, of which I still have yet to build any. That just goes to show how important they are over the Cavalier. Next, Wraith Cruiser boxes beginning in the Swarm 80, going all the way to the Research Division 110. The Research Division 110 is what I'll be hitting because, again, I'm trying to get the Wraith Mark V boxes. Prizes for them is the exact same as what they were before. So during the last event that featured Research Division 110s, they were dropping the exact same, and they're dropping the exact same stuff now. They're dropping the Wraith Cruiser box, the Mark VI fragments, 10 of them at a time. So again, you have to hit 15 to be able to produce one Mark VI ship. Thonian Armor 3, again, fragments, 25, Blight Element, 3 to 5, with an 80% chance to drop. So, you know, it's only an 80% chance, so you may not get anything, which is, this is the highest level target, and Blight's going to be one of the most needed resources for high level tech, so, improperly balanced on their part there. It should have started off with a low chance, like down here, and gone 10%, 20%, 50%, 90%, and then gone 100% for both of the high-level targets. That's just my opinion on the matter. However, it could definitely use more targets that are more variable. And second, there's absolutely not a single Altarian target here, and yet they're offering Altarian tech. If they're going to offer any tech besides that of what is restricted to the factions, or if they're going to offer boxes for other ships entirely, not only should targets for those ships be available to match the event, specifically the store, we should also see targets just for these ships. So you should have Paragon boxes from Mark II to Mark V. All the while from the Mark IV and Mark V targets, you should be getting Mark VI fragments for the ships. The entire time they should be dropping Xenoci fragments, the Xenoci missile fragments, as well as any number of other things. First off, Blood Amber is still in high demand, so Kixi, add it to the store if you're going to have this little pathetic store that's got very little other than credit technology, which this isn't the worst credit they could have had, but it's definitely not the best. And again, the new store, as you can see, is literally just the introduction of 2 items, the ship and the weapons. So that means we'll have to wait for the special, which is thrusters, to come out. Again, this is the smallest shop I've seen in a while. The targets are limited, and in generally, player feedback should be considered, and preview servers should be used more frequently than not. First off, you have people on the preview server for a reason. Most definitely run events in advance and allow them to live stream the event to show how improperly balanced it is to begin with compared to the live version. Encourage them to share information about just about every single thing they find, especially bugs, because you buffed the fleet and then said that the race boxes you need to have Mark 5s to get Mark 5s, which in my eyes, again, makes no sense, because if you already have Mark 5, why do you need Mark 5s? If you already have a full fleet of them because you had to pay for them, you have no need for an additional set of them, because you're already top tier. But those are just my thoughts on the event. The targets are far too limited. There is technology that shouldn't be in their event, and there's no matching targets for said technology to be advanced via any type of mark upgrade, which is necessary. There is limited tech even from that ship. So in general, it's just limited tech. There's not enough, and time tokens are extremely overpriced. Because, again, this is all old technology time tokens, and that is almost as much as the top tier blueprint, which is weapon, not ship. Ship is still the most expensive. But, again, it comes in as $2 million price tag. That's it, everybody. There's not much else to talk about in-game. I've covered everything I wanted to talk about today. So, what are your thoughts on the Pestilence event store and the targets? Do they need to add more to the store and have more targets that are readily available of differing classes for the players they're trying to advance? Because clearly they're trying to allow players to advance. However, they're trying to have them hit targets that are not really balanced for the targeted tier. First off, a level 40 fleet, we can guarantee that if you use a level 40 fleet with it, unless you have built a fleet specifically for it, which is extremely hard to see exactly what it's going to be based on its name, we can expect it to have some type of battleship focus, which would mean you'd want to use battleships. However, if you use battleships, you don't know exactly how quickly the enemy would engage you, so you don't know whether you should go for a running build or a brawling build. Things like this should most definitely be run through the preview server first, and everyone on the preview server should be allowed to live stream, record, and actively share information as much as they can, because it's necessary. And then once it goes to live, we should see the reworked version, which would be the version that is more readily acceptable to everybody. And again, these are all just my thoughts. None of it has been implemented. However, it would just be a bit of a benefit for everybody involved. But again, let me know anything down below in the comment section if you want to say hi, hello. If you liked the video or found what I've said interesting, or just in generally support my opinion, or if you have your own, feel free to say so below. Leave a like, comment for more, well, subscribe for more. I don't think commenting will do much because I still am on the limited release basis of everything. Arc video was delayed until today because I'm still working on stuff in game. I'm still preparing stuff. However, it should be released fairly soon. Not within a short time frame of this video though. It should be a few hours off. But that's gonna be it, everybody. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. If you have anything to say about the video, if you want to add something to what I've said, or if you have your own opinion, leave a comment. If you want to see more videos like this on the channel, subscribe. Go ahead and just browse through the videos on the channel. If you find something you like, comment on that video and say you want to see more of that video, and I'll see what I can do about bringing out more content from said video. There's actually been quite a lot that I've covered on the channel, all of which I can play at my own leisure and record up to an hour and a half at a time for you guys before I have to do other things. And editing time is not included in the hour and a half, so you can actually get a raw video file for an hour and a half of gameplay if that's what you want. However, I would edit it down for everybody. But that's it. And as always, everybody, I'll see you later.